All right, let's get right into it. Every single day, we're bombarded with headlines about generative AI. And look, it's easy to think, here we go again. It feels like the latest in a long line of tech waves, like mobile or the cloud. But what if this time is actually different? What if the old rules just don't apply anymore?
This quote right here, this is the core idea we're going to unpack. The argument is that Gen AI isn't just another upgrade or a new set of features. It's a fundamental change to the very physics of how we build and interact with technology. Now, that's a seriously bold claim, but let's see if it holds up.
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's so easy to get lost in all the hype. So what we're going to do is break down exactly what makes this wave so unique. We're going to get past the buzzwords and look at the real structural shifts that are happening just beneath the surface.
To really understand why this wave feels so different, we first have to take a step back. We need to look at the pattern of the waves that came before it. I mean, this is a cycle we're all pretty familiar with. If you've been around long enough to see the rise of the internet, then the cloud, then mobile, you start to think you've seen this movie before, right? A new technology shows up, and we just adapt our existing playbook to fit it.
So what exactly was that old playbook? Let's do a quick recap of the last 3 massive tech revolutions, because there's a really important common thread running through all of them.
Okay, so here's our timeline. 4 distinct eras of innovation. Each one was huge, completely changing what was possible. But here's the kicker. Despite all those massive changes, the fundamental way products were built and what they actually delivered, it stayed surprisingly consistent. First up, the internet. This gave us global distribution. All of a sudden, you could reach pretty much anyone with a web browser. But, and this is the crucial point, the value itself, the articles, the products for sale, all of it, was still created 100% by humans.
Then the cloud comes along. Amazon Web Services and the others let companies scale up to massive sizes without having to build their own expensive data centers. This totally changed the economics of software. But again, the product's intelligence, its core logic, was still hand-coded line by engineers.
And then, of course, the iPhone. It put a powerful computer in everyone's pocket, which made our apps and services location-aware and always connected. But again, think about it. Every screen, every button, every single part of the experience was meticulously designed by a human. The whole thing was completely static until the next app update came out.
Which brings us to today. Because generative AI doesn't just adapt that old playbook, it pretty much throws it out the window. For the very first time, the core value of a product isn't just designed or coded by people, it's actually generated by the AI. Let's look at the 3 huge ways the rules have totally changed.
The first big change is this shift from what we call deterministic to probabilistic outputs. Just think about it this way. A calculator is deterministic. 2 plus 2 will always equal 4, every time. That's how all software has worked, until now. But Gen AI is probabilistic. You can ask it the same question twice and you might get 2 different but equally valid answers. It's less like a calculator and a whole lot more like a creative partner. And this is a perfect real-world example. When you use Magic Eraser in Google Photos to remove someone from the background, the AI isn't finding the background, it's generating it. It's painting in the pixels. If you do it again, the pixels it creates will be a little bit different. There is no single correct answer, just a whole range of acceptable outcomes. And that's a brand new way of thinking about product quality. The second massive shift is the interface itself. For like 40 years, we've used buttons and menus and dropdowns. We could only do what developers had already pre-programmed for us. Now, the interface is just language. You can ask for things in your own words, combining ideas in ways that no one could have ever possibly predicted.
I mean, take this example from Amazon's AI assistant, Rufus. No website on Earth has pre-built filters for dog-friendly and rainproof. But a natural language interface understands the intent behind your words and can put together an answer from its entire product catalog. The whole idea of a user flow just becomes this infinite branching conversation. Okay, and the third major change is moving beyond personalization to true individualization. See, before, you were put into a segment, a big bucket with thousands of other people who are kind of like you, but AI can generate a completely unique experience in real time just for you.
Spotify's AI DJ is the perfect example of this. It doesn't just play a pre-made playlist. It actually generates spoken commentary just for you, explaining why it chose a particular song, referencing your personal listening history. Every single user gets their own personal radio host. That's not just selecting something from a library, that is individualization through generation.
So when you combine these three giant shifts, the probabilistic outputs, the natural language, the mass individualization, it does something really profound. It fundamentally changes our entire relationship with software.
You can really see this evolution as a spectrum. Most of the software we use today is a tool, or maybe an assistant. It just sits there and waits for us. But AI is pushing products way further down this path towards being co-pilots that anticipate what we need and eventually becoming teammates that can actually take initiative on their own.
So the whole metaphor is changing. For decades, software has been a hammer. It's powerful, but it's totally passive. It does absolutely nothing until we pick it up and decide to use it. Now, it's becoming a collaborator, an active partner that actually contributes to the work alongside us.
Okay, so this all sounds like a big deal for people who build products, sure, but why does this matter to you as a user? Well, because whether you realize it or not, your expectations are already being retrained.
Every time you use a tool like ChatGPT or Midjourney, your baseline for what technology should be able to do shifts a little bit. We are quickly, and I mean quickly, getting used to getting direct answers, not a list of links to sort through. We expect to generate exactly what we need, not just browse some template library. And this shift, it's affecting every single digital product, even the ones that don't use AI yet.
And that really brings us to the final thought here. For our entire digital lives, software has been a passive tool. Now, it's becoming an active partner in our work, in our creativity. This isn't just about some new features. It's a fundamentally new relationship. The very physics of how we interact with technology is being rewritten as we speak. And the big question that leaves us with is, are we ready for it?